Ruben, I had the pleasure of doing your very first game in the Premier League with Manchester United back in November last year at Ipswich Town. And the thing that struck me was your energy, your enthusiasm, and first time in my working life I'd seen a manager of a big club come and stop and talk to people like me in the tunnel. When you started that day, how did you imagine where you'd be now?
Not the journey should be different. I think we did a lot of progress. It's hard to say one thing, but I have to say it now. I was not expecting all these things around the club. I was not expecting last season, but our focus is in this season. And we know that the baggage that we bring to this season is heavy. We lost against Arsenal. We lost against City. We know that. But again, I think we are playing in a different way compared to last season. We are not just being good in the boxes. And in the boxes, you decide the games. Set pieces decide the games. And I think is a little bit the lack of aggression. But to answer your question, has been a journey, an honor, but a tough journey that has to continue.
You came here with a huge reputation and a very successful coach, and so you were used to working under pressure in Portugal. But how much did that pressure intensify with the responsibility of Manchester United and everything that's on this wall behind us here?
I think I already spoke about that. The pressure is to lose. Is to be the Manchester United manager and not to bring all the wins all the time for this club. Because outside, you can say that exposure is really big, but the fans are amazing. Are completely different from my country, and you can see it if you go to my country. You have a lot of managers just losing one game and get sacked. With a lot of problems to leave the stadium, all these things. I think that is the real pressure. Here, the exposure is bigger. Everyone is seeing you lose games, failing, and that is hard on one person. But the hardest part is to get on Sunday, sometimes playing well, and lose games. That is the bigger pressure. So if you talk about everything around this club, I think is not the main concern for me. The main concern is not winning games for my club.
I've yet to meet in this job a talented coach who doesn't have a philosophy, and you came here with a philosophy that worked for you. So we can all talk about systems as much as we like. The bottom line was it worked at Sporting Lisbon. It worked in the Champions League for you. Why do you think it's been so difficult to adapt that winning mentality here?
It's hard to point one thing. Then I think we do things in life that is gamble a little bit. And I think every gamble that we did, in the end, was short. So yes, last year we gambled in going to the final of Europa League, and we forget a little bit Premier League, and we take all the noise from Premier League, and we went to the final. The way people see that last year would be so different if we win that final. So we gamble and we lose in the end. Then we have a big momentum in the preseason. We are playing well. Every aspect, every metric, you can understand that is a different team playing, but you are not losing. And that momentum that we create in preseason, we gamble with that. We put higher expectation. In the end, we lost against Arsenal unfairly, in my view. We lost against City in the tough start of Premier League, and we lost a little bit that momentum. So it's hard to point one thing that why it's not working. Then the system. Everybody talk about the system. I pay attention to 12 things about Premier League for a while, and I remember all the media, all the fans saying that a Manchester United coach needs to have a philosophy, needs to have an identity. And that you point the finger to the last coach here. I remember all the noise that people say that when the former coach said that I cannot play the same way that I was playing in my former club because I don't have the same clubs. And all the people said that, but we get his coach because he has a philosophy, the way of playing, he's not bringing that here. So the problem is not the system. The problem is the results. The system is not the problem. The problem is that if you don't win, people will find an excuse or something. That is the reason why it's not working. Then we will change the way we play. We will have more rotation in the way we play, the system, all these things. But it will take time. So I will do things with my time. And the final thing I think is, if I look at the team playing now, in the games that we have, we miss a little bit luck. But we can look for that luck because we can be more aggressive and believe more. I think sometimes we see our team, we're playing well, but the belief sometimes is not there.
It's interesting you say that. I've been very lucky in this job in the 30-odd years I've been at Sky. I've met a lot of interesting people from all sorts of walks of life who've been successful like you. They all have a view and a philosophy, but to do that and believe in that, you have to have courage. And I think we've all seen from you that you do have the courage of your beliefs. So my question to you is, when you say it's about the results, do other people here, not just maybe the players, does everybody else need to have courage, but particularly the players to show this courage that you talk about, that you possess?
I think it's really heavy to play in this club in this moment. It's really heavy, and it's getting heavier. And when we have a break, also it's our fault. And we can point, I already spoke about that, we can point the Grimsby game. Because we have a good game against Arsenal, everyone was excited, even with the loss. And then we have Fulham, we play well first half, we miss a lot of chances, and then we struggle a little bit in the end. But then we have an opportunity to don't give anything to point to our team. And then we have the game in Grimsby. And that kills a little bit the momentum. And that is something that we need to pay attention because everything here is so massive that we need to do everything in our power to avoid any noise. And that was our fault. So I think we need to step up. Everyone needs to step up. But again, I think everyone, the board, because if the board is not courage, is not keeping the manager with these results. Also because they see a lot of things that you don't see during the week. They see all the metrics, all these things. They just don't see the results and the noise. If they just are not brave and just look results and noise, what people want, I would not be here. So I think everyone is being brave, but we as a club, as a team, manager and players, we need to step up in this moment. We need to create our momentum.
Managers will always, rightfully so, defend their players, and I would understand that because you have to lead those people. But is it fair to suggest from the outside that those players could give you more? I'm not asking you to name individuals, but could show you that they are capable of shouldering the responsibility that you shoulder?
We can give the extra. We need to in the moment, especially in games, because in training they are amazing. In games, I know that everyone feels a lot of pressure in this moment, but we need to give that extra that we need to win games and to overcome everything that is around us. I am not saying that they don't want to do it. I'm saying that it's really hard to get that extra, especially in the game day, and we can do that, and we need to do that.
The metrics say that you are showing improvement, setting the results aside, and you've been very honest. You've said, listen, in the middle of the park, we're showing a bit more creativity, but in both boxes, which is the crucial thing. So how do you go solving the problem at the back and then solving the problem in the front? Because the middle seems okay.
I think, we are playing well between the boxes. So in the end, it means nothing. So it's better to play well in both boxes and don't play like nothing or badly between the boxes. Of course, we have a responsibility as a club to have a attractive football, but in the end, we need to win. And for that, we just work during the week playing in the boxes. So we forget a little bit about a lot of things, a lot of steps, and focus on the boxes. But sometimes it's more like a mindset. The way you sprint to the box to score or sprint to the box to cover your goal, sometimes it's more a mentality thing than a tactical thing.
I just want to go back to that point you made about the noise, of which there will always be noise around every big football club. I know you don't choose to read the media and the papers and you separate yourself, but obviously there will be others in this building who pick up on things, and the latest narrative being pushed by some section of the media is you only have potentially 3 games. I know you had a scheduled meeting with Sir Jim Ratcliffe this year. He's a scientist who's very much driven by data. So will it be ultimately the data that decides this project in your future, or is it results?
I think it's always the results. But to tell you the truth, I'm not worried about that. That is not something that I'm not worried or getting sacked or whatever. That is not my decision. I had that decision in the end of the season, and I say that publicly. That was my decision. If the board want me to go, I understand that people, if you don't win, people will say that I need to go. But that is not my responsibility. That is the board. I will fight with all my strength to continue my dream. I want to coach this club. So my job is, you never know. It happened with Sir Alex Ferguson. One game changed the history. So I'm just fighting every day. The next game is going to be the game that changed my history. That is my job. When the time comes, it's not my decision. So I'm not worried about that, and I will be fine. I will say the same thing. I will be fine. But I will fight every day, because this is my dream. This is the only club that I want to coach, and I will fight until the end. When end comes, I cannot do nothing, but I feel the confidence from the board. I feel the confidence from the supporters, even if they are frustrated. And they know that I will do everything to continue as Manchester United manager. And that is my job. My job is not to think if I have 1 more game, 2 more games, or 3 more games. If I have just 1 more half of the game, I will fight with all my strength to keep my job and to keep my dream. So that is my job. I will continue to do that.
It's very interesting you say that, because you talk obviously openly there about the support you're having from the board, because there are times from our side of the game where you seem to almost, and I hope you'll understand I'm saying this in the right way, you almost challenge the board to say, back me or sack me. I mean, last week you said, I believe in my system, I'll change if I want to change. If not, you change the man. I mean, is that a very brave thing to do as a manager? Or is that the sign of the belief that you have from this board?
No, it's not just the belief. It's something that I'm fully aware that I don't control what people is going to decide. So I'm just saying what I feel. Sometimes I have to keep things to myself, but everybody knows me already. That in the end of the games, I will be really frustrated. So I'm not challenging anyone. When I say that I'm really comfortable on what is going to happen, if it's good or bad in the future, I mean it. The hardest part is to lose games. So I'm not worried about if I'm challenging someone or if someone is going to do something to me. My focus is to win games. And when I lose games, I'm getting really frustrated. So it's not a case of challenging something. It's just I believe in the way I do things, and when I say that, I really mean it.
Let's finish on hopefully a positive note. It's almost been 12 months since you started. You've made it clear that your passion is Manchester United and you want to be here. So if we're all, God willing, still here in 12 months' time, what do you envisage your Manchester United team will look like in another 12 months?
It's hard to after 1 year of experience in this club, it's hard to imagine what is going to be the next 12 years. I expect to be here. That is the first point, like you said. I expect to play really well between the boxes and be excellent in the boxes. I expect to create a momentum that is normal to win in this football club, win matches. I don't say titles, but win matches is the normality. I expect to have that in 12 months. But as you can see, we need to live this day by day. So I expect to be here in 12 months talking to you again. It will be a good sign.
Ruben, pleasure. I look forward to it.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.